This is day 5. The kittens are 4 days old now. Mama stepped out for a little bit, so I thought it would be a good opportunity to film them without any interference from her. And they, as you see, have gotten quite large. A lot bigger than they were just a few days ago when they were born. Oh. They love snuggling with each other. They're trying to learn how to walk. They're very wobbly and unsteady, but cute as can be when they do. Still nursing, still will be for several weeks. Oh, big yawn. They pretty much eat and sleep and that's it. There is nothing else to their lives right now. They are, from what we've read, not able to see or hear or smell just yet. They go pretty much based on hot and cold. They look for warmth, and that's about all they've got right now. But over the next couple of days, their little eyes should start to open up, and within about a week or so, they should be fully open and capable of seeing, maybe not taking everything in completely or understanding everything, but their eyes will be fully open by then. And their sense of smell should also be developing about the same amount of time. And I think their sense of hearing too, although I believe from what I read that that's about the last thing to fully develop on them. Their little ear canals aren't quite open yet, so they're not really able to hear just yet. We have them in a nice little dark spot right by our front door, our back door, and a little window that we have there. And they're right against the wall here so that they've got daylight streaming in but not directly on them. So when their little eyes do open up and they start seeing, they won't have to deal with any sort of bright sunlight coming directly in at them. So that's good for their little developing eyes. And I have some good news that between Brad's work and Krav and some people that we've talked to that we know, friends that we have, and people that we know online, and people at class for me, we think, found good homes for just about all of them, but of course that could change at any time, so we're just uncertain. Looks like somebody's got a little case of the hiccups here. I don't know. Maybe? Maybe that's what that is. You okay, little guy? Anyway, we think we might have found, almost found good homes for all of them. Of course, some people could still back out at this point. And I think we need one more home. Just one more little kitty. But having only been a half a week old at this point, that's not bad, and they won't be weaned and ready to go home until they're at about 4 weeks. We're going to work very hard though to make sure that they're litter box trained, so that when they do find their forever homes, there won't be any trouble to their families. And they should be able to start litter box training about the time that they're weaning, so it shouldn't be too difficult. But yeah, they've just gotten so much bigger and so much furrier. It's nice to see that their hiccup reflexes are working. now. That's kind of interesting. And also, I'm going to try to get as close as I can, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see this on the camera, if you're going to be able to tell, but if you can see, maybe not. Maybe if you look right there next to my thumb here, I have black nail polish on. If you look right next to my thumb here, those are little tiny whiskers, and that's kind of a new development over the last couple of days. That they have these little tiny whiskers growing in. It's just making them look a little more like actual cats and not like little rats that they kind of started looking like at first. So, although they do still have kind of rat-like tails. Oh, they are so cute and sweet though. They're so fuzzy and soft. And although this was not an experience that we set out to have with them, it has been a very interesting and worthwhile experience to birth them and watch them grow over the last few days. And I imagine there are some headaches to come down the road over the next few weeks, since we really don't have the accommodation for these little guys for very long. We just don't live in an apartment that has what they would need fully. So I imagine as they get a little older, it's going to cause some headaches for us and be a little difficult to care for them. But I think it's in the end going to have been a worthwhile experience for us, and perhaps not one that we'll be ready to jump in and experience again anytime soon. But for the time being, for this one moment in time, they have been so sweet, and we have been so glad that their mother, who is outside and ready to come back inside, that their mother chose to come to us when she was ready. When she was ready to have the little kittens. Hey, kiddo. And as you can see, she's just been a wonderful little house cat herself. So, and she's not an indoor cat by any stretch of the means, but she has spent probably, I would say, probably about 20-21 hours a day indoors with us. And just once in a while, like you saw, she goes outside. She's not accustomed to using a litter box here, so when she has to relieve herself, she's got to go outside to do that. It's just in her nature. She's feral. She's despite what it looks like, she is not a house cat. But I think she's becoming rather accustomed to this life, and perhaps could be trained to use a litter box and make somebody a good house pet. She's the sweetest thing in the world, and just loves to be pet and to be scratched. She herself is only, if you can believe it, only just barely a year old, maybe not even quite that old yet. So in about a year, that's what these little guys are going to look like, believe it or not. Just that little amount of time. Alright, so this is day 5 here. These are the kiddos at just 4 days old. And Mama's starting to get a little nervous about the camera again, I think, so I'm gonna just leave you with this little picture here. This guy feeding everybody trying to get a bite.